What's up, guys? Like Jay from Legendary Sports Organizations. So we just saw episode number 2 of Paul George's My Journey on Sports Center, and there's a lot of intriguing like messages in this episode. Kind of negative if you're a Laker fan on Paul George's imminent free agency. So let's dive right into this video and break it down a little bit with some speculation.
I love LA.
Everybody loves LA and hates LA, so let's skip the cliche.
You know, there's so many.
Is this his house in LA? It looks like his house is in LA in Van Nuys.
The next several weeks, where he's going to look not only at team options but length of contract options. If he goes short term, what he could sign for then. If he goes long term now, the importance of bird rights.
So if this is his house in LA, are those boxes in the background moving boxes? I don't know. That's kind of a stretch. They look more like he just received those boxes, like delivery boxes. So I don't want to look too much into it.
From a economic standpoint, outside of just where do I want to play. Here's a booklet of some of the stuff, we put together. You have some big decisions that you need to make.
This is what you play for in your career. It's this opportunity to ultimately pick where you want to go play at.
Big numbers that I want you to look at here, these bottom lines here. If you do scenario 1, if you wanted to stay in Oklahoma City, you're guaranteed almost $176 million over 5 years. If you did a 4-year with another team, you're guaranteed $130 million. If you did a 2+1 with Oklahoma City.
Okay, so here's an interesting one. 2+1, but he included Oklahoma City. What if he were to opt out on that one? And here you go.
When you're 30 years
you hit the market when you're 30 years old.
Hitting it at 32.
As opposed to being 32. So 2 years later, as of right now, the Lakers would, if they were remain with this young squad, legitimately should be contenders all on their own and wouldn't necessarily need Paul George.
I'm going to get paid what I deserve off of what I bring to the table. That's not my concern. The most important thing is winning a championship.
And comfort.
Sam Presti.
Uh-oh, the villain of the story.
Stepped to the plate and made an offer and made a trade to try to get Paul George to come play with Russell Westbrook. That showed both of us a lot by making a move like that.
Players like Paul, one, there's not many of them. 2, they're not often available.
Good, chin down a little bit, Pete, there you go.
And 3, probably more specifically for us, is as a smaller market in the NBA, our access to that level of player, it's not all the time just waiting for you. We felt like it was something that had to be done. I'm a big Tribe Called Quest fan. There's a line that basically says, scared money don't make none, and I think that's the case.
Huh. How did James Harden get traded then?
We wouldn't have traded for Paul George if we didn't believe in our community, our organizational values, our ownership. If you expect Paul George or any player to have any confidence in you as an organization, you have to demonstrate it yourself.
Keep working.
Scared money don't make none.
Back on the track now, back on the...
I want to ask you some on the court stuff. I'm in that position now where I'm trying to figure out the direction I want to go. Being a free agent, like, what would you do in this situation?
So I'm gonna tell you my mindset 2010 when I was a free agent. For me, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about nothing but winning. A lot of people don't believe this. A lot of people think we had this already set up. Brian called and said, what are you thinking? I said, bro, I want to win championships. I'm tired of getting knocked out in the first round. It sucks. And then it went from there to saying, yo, let's do it together. Mm-hmm. Like, I won a scoring title, PG. Right. Nobody brought me a car. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing happened. It was just the season was over.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. Mm. What fulfilled me is raising that gold thing above my head. That moment fulfills you like no other moment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I knew that winning was going to bring everything I wanted and more.
At the end of the day, that's all I want to do. I want to be a champion. In a way, it's like, I want to come here, I want to play for the home team and put a Laker jersey on. That's always going to be something that I want to fulfill.
Something that I want to fulfill. So it's not now, it's in the future.
But at the same time, it's like, what's the best move though? I know who I am as a player. I just want to help a team win.
Right.
And I feel comfortable doing so that with Russ.
That look by Dwayne Wade is my reaction as well. Win a championship, better chance with Russ. Damn.
And then, I mean, there's other places too, from Boston to Clippers. To,
Dwayne Wade just pretty much said,
Once you
stop
make
it.
this decision,
Stop it. Why'd you even name the
make a decision
Clippers?
where you the number one guy, you make a decision where you the second, third, whatever.
Right.
You make that decision, you got to be okay with it, and you're gonna bring the best PG to that decision. Because this is a hell of a ride, and this ride comes to an end, but right now you still got a long way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, D. Appreciate the good
So here's the way I see it. Paul George is doing this 3-part series on his journey.
Please bring the bottle.
In this episode, you got your answer right there. Paul George feels more comfortable winning with Russell Westbrook. But let's be real. Paul George and Russell Westbrook are not enough with the team they have right now to beat the Warriors, much less the Houston Rockets if they were to remain the same. So, the ultimate scenario where I'm going to get real crazy on this, and I'll cue the X-Files music on this, what I'm suggesting is going to happen is there's going to be a sign and trade. Melo is not the man that they are planning to keep or could even help them as much. So what's the best scenario there? There's another free agent, possibly the bigger free agent, LeBron James. Yes, I'm getting a little wild on this one. He could opt in. He has until today, if I publish this out by Friday, he has until Friday to opt into his contract. If we were to opt in, that's a cool little $30 million that he jumps into. But Melo is worth somewhere around 20-something million. They would have to make the contracts work. Maybe he doesn't opt in, waits till free agency, and takes a smaller pay to do a sign and trade, which would include Melo and LeBron, pretty much a swap. And you got OKC with a new 3-headed monster where Paul George could sign a 2+1 deal, come to the Lakers when he's 30. The Lakers are more matured, and it makes more sense for him as far as chasing a ring, chasing a championship. Because nowadays you need to have a super team in order to compete. And LeBron would take so much away from Westbrook, where he didn't have to bust a triple-double every single game to attempt to win. Paul George doesn't have to be the primary shooter, the primary scorer. LeBron would be option. He gives everybody options. They would just need to sign a couple of more players to actually compete with the 4-headed monster of Golden State. So in this scenario, Paul George wouldn't necessarily come to LA until he's 30. The Lakers are more matured. And hopefully they do not do some stupidity and trade everybody to San Antonio for Kawhi. I just don't see that making any sense. Because the way I also see it is the Lakers have these young cats have a high ceiling. Very, very high ceiling. And they've gathered a lot of comparisons to, and I'll give you some examples. Brandon Ingram has been compared a lot to Kevin Durant. Lonzo Ball has gotten a lot of comparisons to Jason Kidd. Kyle Kuzma, the mentality and the ability to ask questions and develop and grow and like wanting to learn and having that instinct to score in the fourth quarter reminds me of Kobe Bryant. And then you have Julius Randle, which if the Lakers were to re-sign, he's a hybrid of Zach Randolph and Lamar Odom. He's working on his jump shot and developing, and we see him get better every single year. So this Laker team isn't necessarily a contender, even with Paul George. They add LeBron James. Now we're talking about a legitimate contender. Yes, that makes sense. But so much is going on with Paul George that I feel like he already made his mind up and he already made his decisions to re-sign with Oklahoma. But this video, this whole series, is just to let the Laker fans down easy. Obviously, no one in LA, no Laker fan is going to accept this. We're all going to boo him, and we're all going to hate on him, and we're going to be holding grudges on this. We might accept him when he decides, if he were to decide to come to LA, because he said wearing a Laker jersey is something he does want to fulfill. But who knows? Who knows if he even makes it that far or that far along by that time. But I see it as he already made his decision. This is just something to let us Laker fans down easily. And, don't be surprised if LeBron does end up going with Oklahoma and creating something there. But there you have it. With that being said, I'm LAJ. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legendary Sports Organizations. So this video was kind of outlandish and out there. A lot of it's just way out there. So if you kind of like this video, you kind of like how crazy this gets, go check out our YouTube channel. We also get crazy there. Also, our Facebook page, Legendary Sports Organizations on Facebook. Follow us there. Memes, videos. If you guys want to meet a player and you're in Los Angeles, sometimes I'll post pictures or directions on where you can meet some of these players and get some autographs or talk to them face to face, all that stuff. And definitely some memes in there. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. Thank you for listening and keep on watching.